tenths now, where we used to round them off to 16 mils, 15 mils, even the fire department 1 mil here or there, but now we're all in fractions because of the new 100% valuation which you use.
Mr. Chairman, I mean, it sounds like I'm probably the one that's, we're going over some items. I just want to make sure that you guys know, I'm just bringing it up. Our overtime, we're going to do whatever it takes to keep it down. Lieutenant and I constantly, again, have 5 days to change things. You know, I just want to bring it to the attention. You can see obviously the numbers, 2014 we had 67,000 just in there for overtime. And I explained to everybody that if there's an emergency, an active shooter call, or any big type of incident that's going to cause us to have a lot of overtime, there's a buffer in there. Every police department has a buffer in there for this incident. 2014 was 67,000, 2015 was 86,000 in the police department budget, and in 2015 was 86,000, 2016 was 79,000. We're at 45,000 right now for this year. Is basically in that number. So far this year, I have spent $32,000. We constantly change people's schedule. And again, we had an active shooter call, Consol Energy. Thank goodness it was not it was a false alarm. But something like this could be tens, twenties of thousands of dollars from court time, which is overtime if we go to Washington, and that's a contract thing. That leaves me $13,000 if you want to say $45,000 of what I already spent this year. $13,000. That could be done instantly. The only thing I just want to make sure the board understands, again, with me only having $45,000 in there for 2017, it's unpredictable to me. We do our best to make sure that we change these officers and move them around. But if it's a bad incident, it's going to cost easily $13,000. I can tell you right now, this year we moved people around. It was a good year. We didn't have any bad incidents. We had to call some overtime just because of the Canonsburg incident, just to assist even those hours. And that's common. North Strabane did it. Peters Township did it. It wasn't extreme because it wasn't in our town. But Canonsburg Borough is taking a lot of expense for this incident. And again, it's very unpredictable, but $45,000, we will do whatever it takes, but that is a very low number compared to the years prior. And the reason why you see these numbers in there, and you see that we're not using all that numbers from 2014, 2015, 2016, is because of how we handle the schedule and, again, prevent this overtime from going out. So I'm just a little concerned about the $45,000.
You understand, though, if you have a critical incident that happens, you're going to respond. You're not going to look at your budget.
I know you guys are going to accept that, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention that, you know, next year you're like, whoa, Sean, you know, why did you go over? Because we do, for Thanksgiving, we add an officer. For Halloween, we add extra patrols through the neighborhoods. So it is expected, yes.
In 19 years, have you ever heard of the township not backing for this kind of?
No, but I actually had more buffers in there, and that's where I'm just saying the buffer's a little bit more smaller.
We would cover them.
I understand. I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
The other thing that I wanted to bring up is there was a reduction in the Parks Fund budget that I ask for every year. And 2 years ago, we did improvements to Cecil Park. We put down the safe surface. This past year, we didn't get to the project, but we're currently working on improving the tennis court, basketball court area. I asked at our November meeting to have that money that was budgeted in 2016 put into a capital rec account. I was turned down. So in order to cover the project that we've already started and allow us to do a future project, which Supervisor Dizio and I have talked about potentially doing the ball field in use, utilizing the funds that I've asked for every year for parks for the ball field in use, which I think would be great for the kids. But I need additional monies put back in there into that account. So the money that was taken out, which I believe was $30,000, is that what it was? $30,000 put back so that we can cover both projects. Mr. Chair.
That is our intention.
That's your intention.
Yeah, we're balancing it, and we do have a little bit of excess now, so I'm in favor of that.
Okay.
we've got to hear from everybody else too. Frank.
Yeah, I did meet with Craig Swope, Supervisor Savovic, and State Senator Cameron Bartolotti yesterday, and we listened to Craig Swope's vision for the future of upgrading some drainage work at Muse Ball Field. Obviously, long-term, I'd like to see the creek pipe, but Craig needs a signature from Don Januso on the application to apply for permits just for drainage work. This is not to do anything with the creek at all. He wants to try and upgrade that, maybe reverse the field and put the infield in the outfield, maybe have the outfield at the perimeter of where the infield currently is. So I told him, you know, I'd like to assist him with that, but it's probably 90 days out to get the permit. But he does need a signature from Don Januso to apply for these DEP permits to get the ball rolling. And
All right, if we get that in the budget here tonight, then we'll authorize him tonight at the special meeting.
appropriate, maybe to start with maybe $3,000, something small. He said, I mean, if he got everything going, it probably wouldn't be until maybe the fall of 2017 before they'd actually be able to play ball in that field of use.
Well, our engineer estimated about 10,000 if their company did it, but I'm sure Craig has some juice.
We met for 2 hours yesterday, so I think it was a very positive meeting.
So I think there's enough consensus to put it in the budget.
I promise this will be the last thing. I want to bring up the cars, because that was an issue. Did I bring that up?
Yep.
Right now, we are asking for 2 vehicles in the budget. I need 4 vehicles, and I'm happy to share all these numbers with anybody that wants to look at it, and I also included the board in this. We have 4 vehicles that have close to 100,000 miles on them. 2 vehicles will not pass inspection. There's no way they're gonna pass inspection. One has over 180,000 miles. The other one, I believe, has 90, or no, I'm sorry, where are you at? As far as yours. 120,000 miles. That's the lieutenant's car. He needs a car, and he needs to come out in the middle of the night just like I do. The other one's the investigations car. I advised the board, we're asking for 2, we need 4. I think we talked about this, I know we're crunching numbers, but I just wanted to put out there to everybody what we have and what we work with. We will have 13 vehicles once I give 2 up. If we get 2 vehicles this year, the vehicle's gonna go to the lieutenant, and the vehicle's gonna go to the investigations. These vehicles are gonna have, one has, and this is old, so there's probably a lot more, but this, when we calculated a number about 2 months ago, it was 103,000 miles on this vehicle. That one's gonna go to investigations. The other car has over 100,000 miles on it, and that's gonna go to the lieutenant. I just wanna make sure the board understands that we have maintenance. These vehicles are older. As I said before, I'll keep it very simple. A police car that has 50,000 miles on it, and any of you guys have fleet vehicles or working, you have to double the mileage on that police car. So if I have 50,000 miles on that police car, it's really about 100,000 miles on that police car.
But just so everybody understands that when he's talking about new cars, the new cars do go to the patrol officers to be out on patrol. We kind of move some to the least worst that are usable for the patrol for administration, and the patrol officers still have the new car.
And just for the record, like in 2016, we had 2 vehicles. 2015, we had 2 vehicles, and that was the surplus money that you guys gave me, minus the major equipment from that. 2014, I did not get any vehicles. We did not have any cameras in our police cars. In this day and age, they're even pushing body cameras. That's the next thing, which I'm not opposed to, but that costs a lot of money. But right now, we have cameras in the cars. I didn't get cars in 2014. The 2013 vehicles, those are the ones that have 100,000 miles on them. And those, again, are going to be going to our other staff. If you want to look at the big picture, I totally have 8 vehicles for patrol. I have a canine vehicle that goes to the canine officer and the dog. It has a partition in it. I have an unmarked vehicle that we use for investigations, traffic. For safety reasons, I am not permitted to have that at night. and I'm sure everybody can agree they don't want an unmarked car pulling over at 2 in the morning. My vehicle, it has about 150,000 miles on it. It was not a police car. I just had to replace an exhaust on it. I'm having issues with the whole vehicle, but I'll do whatever it takes because I want to make sure these guys get cars first. My vehicle and investigations, the lieutenant, as well as the canine, in the unmarked car, you have to take that out of the mix. So I really only have 8 cars to patrol this township. 4 of them have low miles, the other 4 have high miles. So that's what I'm looking at, and then just in the near future, when we revisit this next year, if these cars make it, they might have 140,000 miles on them. So these are the vehicles that they drive in, transport people. I just want to make sure I'm asking for 2, but just so you guys know, in my budget area for repairs of the vehicle, that's not going to go away. And like I said, this is even based off of consulting with Bill and his guys and the mechanics. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understands how complex and how our vehicles are made up. It looks like we have a lot of cars, but we use them all the time. We've had vehicles under maintenance. We've sent people home at times because some vehicles, there might be 2 vehicles down. We have, knock on wood, and it's deer season. Sometimes we hit deer and that vehicle goes down for service. This has been a good year so far, but again, I just want to make sure you guys know, and I consulted here and there with some supervisors because I was concerned, but they do have very high mileage.
Sean, my position was that 4 of the cars out there are junk, 2 we probably couldn't even give away.
You're right.
I think we should get rid of those 4 worst ones and get 4 new cars. I don't know why we didn't get 2 cars in 14. When
Well, that was, 14 was because I knew that we didn't have cameras. Cameras cost $50,000. It sounds a lot, but it's $5,000 per camera. Body cameras are going to be more than that. That's what it costs this day and age. The other thing too is 4 years ago, I bought tablets in the vehicles. They're going to be 4 years old. Again, I welcome everybody to come over to my office. They're falling apart. They run all the time. This is our report writing system on these computers. We are issuing citations in the vehicles now. They got to be up to date. We lose this data on these computers. It could be detrimental to record keeping or anything else.
All right, Sean, let's finish those cars
Yes.
first. I
Yes.
need to know what kind of support there is on that,
Okay.
that idea that 4 of them have to go.
You have my full support to get rid of them.
What about the other board members?
For the good, you will. High mileage, you will.
Again, I'm kind of disappointed. we didn't get
I'll
those-
take every avenue if we can trade them in. Maybe they might accept something. They're 2013s, but they have over 100,000 miles on them. So I don't know what you guys would get from what's win Ford, or if we trade them in. We do get it on the Shake Hog.
What will 2 more add to the budget?
Less than,
What is it? So we bought 2 in 2015 for $69,270. We bought 2 in 2016 for right around 85, but that was, we bought.
we actually had to add light bars and we had to add new cameras. This time, we just have to change the partitions because it fits a vehicle to an Explorer. The Explorers are better, you sit up higher. Anybody could come in again, sit in our Tauruses with a gun belt, a bigger guy. It's very hard, you're seeing into the car. It's very difficult to get out in a very good situation. It's being proven the Explorers are better. They're only a couple $1,000s more than these sedans. They're all-wheel drive, but the only thing you have to change from sedan to SUV is the partition, and that's the cage that protects the officers from the prisoners, and a transport seat as well. The transport seat so they don't stick any needles in there, any contraband, any weapons. So those we do have the transport seats in there. The camera will be able to switch over. The light bars will be able to switch over from these vehicles. And that's why there was added cost to those other vehicles, because they were Explorers and we'd outfit the whole entire Explorer.
So you're saying